Today I'm packing for a festival, so I thought I would do a really quick what's in my bag video about the kind of things that I would take to shoot a music festival. I'm going to link all of these items in the description below, so if you want to check them out, you can check them out there. So first up, my backpack is a Brevite jumper backpack. Full disclosure, I was gifted this, however, they've not paid me to do a review or anything like that. Previously, I've been using this low pro camera backpack, and while it served me well, it's definitely seen better days, and I don't really like the fact that it looks like a camera bag. I feel like when you're out and about shooting, if you've got something on your back that looks like a camera bag, I feel like you're just making a target for yourself for robbery or something like that. This backpack just looks like a normal backpack, and I really love that. The bag comes with all these little dividers, so I've sectioned it off how I want, but you can take them out and put them in anywhere you like. So in here we have my X100V, which is what I would use for portraits at a festival. I like to keep it in this side bit here, and it means that you can easily access it from this little side panel like this. Obviously it's not meant to fall out like that. Next up, we have the Sony a7 III. Depending on the festival, I might take the a7 IV. Depends on how rowdy the festival is going to get. If it's going to get rowdy, I'll take the a7 III because I'm not so precious about it. But the a7 IV all round is a better camera. I mainly use this for shooting bands on stage. Having the ability to shoot at a really high ISO and having the kind of dynamic range that the Sony sensors have, it's perfect for shooting bands on stage. You can kind of get a lot out of the files when it comes to editing and stuff like that. So while the Sony cameras are kind of boring to use, they're really great at what they do. So moving on to lenses, we have the Sigma 24-70 Art Series lens. This is a great all-rounder. I really wanted the G Master lens, but I just couldn't justify double the price for it. So I bought this 24-70. I'm really happy with it. It works well, it's sharp, the autofocus is great, and 2.8 maximum aperture is alright. It's not the best, but it'll do. So this is kind of what I would put on the camera if I just didn't really know what I was walking into. Just a really great all-rounder lens. Next up, we have the Sigma 16-28 wide-angle lens. This is basically the same as the 24-70, but much wider. I use this lens mainly for crowd shots, or if I'm shooting like a hardcore show or something like that where it's quite small. This kind of just gets everything in. And again, 2.8 maximum aperture, not amazing, but gets the job done. We also have the Sony 85mm 1.8 lens. This is a really great lens for shooting bands on stage, especially if the stage is quite high up. This will get kind of nice portraits of people on stage. You get a really nice out of focus background, and the lens overall is pretty sharp. I only really bought it because it was quite cheap, and I don't use an 85mm that much, but it's not let me down yet, so I would really recommend this lens. So that is it for the main section. We also have this front section here. Now this has loads of pockets in, so it's great for accessories. I keep a few things in here. First off, we have an external hard drive. This is the SanDisk Extreme SSD, and I use this just to back up photos when I'm on shoots. You can pretty much transfer a whole festival's worth of photos to this in about 3 minutes, so it's really great for kind of on-the-job stuff. It's also apparently supposed to be drop-proof and stuff. I've not dropped it, and I don't plan on doing it, but good to know. Next up, we have a Anker power bank. This is a lifesaver when it comes to charging at festivals, because a lot of the time you don't really have power, especially if the festival's in a field. This will charge my Sony batteries 2 or 3 times, or charge my phone 2 or 3 times, so it gets you out of a pinch in a lot of situations. In here, I also have this Neewer filter case. This just came with a filter that I bought one time. It's got 4 slots for filters, and it holds my ND filters, which are Gobe or Gobi, or however you pronounce it, ND filters for filming, and it also contains my Pro Mist filters that I use on all of my lenses. We also have a pocket in here for spare batteries, and we have another pocket which contains this Small Rig Vibe P96L RGB light. This is great if you just need, it's got a police setting like that, that was quite blinding, but it's also got some other settings. This is great for if you need a bit of light. You can kind of have white light, or you can scroll this down and have a warmer light, and it's also got like a full RGB mode, so you can kind of pick whatever color you want. This is really great for, you know, if you're shooting, that's so bright. It's great if you're shooting like a band on like a little stage and there's not a lot of light. You can position this anywhere. It's got like a tripod mount if you want to put it on a tripod. You can position this anywhere around the stage and it just adds that little bit of extra fill light, which is great. I also have antihistamines because I'm allergic to everything, and ibuprofen tablets because I always get headaches, so these come in handy too. And finally, I also have some ACS custom earplugs. These are essential for working festivals. Not necessarily these ones, but just if you work in festivals, get some earplugs. Tinnitus is not fun. Okay, so moving up top in this top section, I don't really keep a lot in here because this is where I charge my batteries with the Anker power bank if I need to. I like to keep a space so that I can plug them all in and put it in the top of my bag so it's out the way. But we have a sensor blower, or like dust blower. This is essential for mirrorless cameras, especially when you're changing a lens at a festival. It's often very dusty, so whenever I take the lens off the camera, I'll give it a couple of sprays and it'll just get rid of all of the dust off your sensor. I've been using this for about 10 years now. I've never had to send off a sensor to be cleaned, so I would definitely recommend getting one of these. I also have my AirPods in here for if I'm editing a video, I can put them in and I don't have to listen to the bands and stuff when I'm trying to edit. There is also a laptop pocket on the back of the bag. This is where I'd usually take my MacBook, but it's currently over there recording my audio right now, so it's not in the bag. There is a little stash pocket on the back of this if you want to stash anything, or I guess it might be for a passport. And in this side pocket, I have a little stand for my laptop. This is going to be quite hard to show you, but you can basically stand it like that, put the laptop on, and you don't have to be like hunched over your laptop while you're editing. It's important to be sat up and keep good posture, especially when you are walking around with a camera on your back all day. What else do we have in here? We have this is an Insta360 invisible selfie stick for my 360 camera, which is in my bag somewhere. I can't remember where. Okay, so there is so many pockets on this thing that I just completely forgot this was in here, but inside this top pocket, there's also a little zip, and inside that compartment there, I have my Insta360 1R 360 camera. It's a really great camera, it's really fun to use, but it's not the best in low light. So for festivals during the day, it's really fun for putting over the crowd. This is really great for if someone is crowd surfing or anything like that. You can get a really cool top-down view, which looks great. I also sometimes attach my monopod to the bottom of this to get even more reach. This is really great for getting like drone style shots. But yeah, it's great for during the day, but I wouldn't recommend it at night because the low light performance is pretty bad. So that's it. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I will see you in the next one.